Thank you so much, guys, for connecting to our collective calls. We are Ivan and Malika, and we are hosts of our meetings. And we got 3 amazing projects today to pitch here. So let me introduce them real quick. First of all, we got Nemeos founder Francois here. Then a project called Fizen, and Sue is here to be in charge of the presentation. And last but not least, we got Old Protocol founder Leo joining us. So 3 amazing projects. Really excited to hear from all of you guys and have a nice discussion today. And let's start with Francois. Passing the mic to you, man. Happy to see you.
Yeah. Thanks, Ivan, for the intro. So first of all, hi, everyone. Sorry for my French accent. I hope it's not gonna blur the message too much. Okay, because I hope you're gonna kind of understand what I'm gonna present you. So Nemeos, basically what we do, it's very simple. We build DeFi projects with DeFi products for Web3 projects. Okay, what does it mean? It means tomorrow, if you're a Web3 project, you want to integrate DeFi or let's say financial services, but on-chain financial services for your users. But basically you don't have the technology, you don't have the skills to build a DeFi product for your users. So we basically bring white label DeFi products. So basically that's what we do. So if you have to understand or to remember one thing, basically we're kind of like a Morpho, Morpho protocol. Okay, basically they build a DeFi infrastructure to be used by any project, but with the difference of Morpho. Morpho builds, a big infrastructure focused mainly on lending, on collateralized lending, and it's basically mostly made for big projects, such as, for example, Codebase, where you can basically deposit your bitcoins and to get a loan. So our approach is a little bit different. We basically are more customizable than Morpho. We don't target to build, a huge infrastructure. We mostly basically build case by case approach, and we build DeFi specific, very customizable products for any project. Okay. An example, we studied with acquisition financing. Okay. What does it mean? It means you can buy with credit any type of crypto assets, and we started with NFTs. So what does it mean? It means you can take a consumer credit to buy an NFT. And for that, we did the first credit mint for NFTs, meaning a French project called Waldos. Basically, they were selling NFTs at 0.1 ETH. And for the first time ever, I guess, we haven't found any solution like that. Anyone could use could go on this mint and pay the 0.1 ETH in 4 times, fully decentralized, fully on-chain. And basically, how does it work? The real NFT was kept as collateral in the pool, and there were a wrapped NFT, which was sent to the user so that he could use the utilities of the NFT while he was paying the loan. So we continue like that, but sadly for us, the NFT market is dying. Okay, but it's very bad health. So we started to basically address other use cases, and maybe without getting into too much details, one of the use case we have developed is the seller credit. So seller credit is also a technical description. It's basically a way to do a loan, but without having to engage liquidity. And for that, a kind of a cool use case, in our opinion, we built on that, is to be able for users to buy ICO tokens with credit. Okay, how does it work? Let me just
I can share my screen too.
Yes.
If you want. I have the other deck. Hello everyone, sorry for my late. I wouldn't interrupt, but I'm CCO for Nemeos. I'm Julian Schmerkin, and I can share the deck, the specific deck for the RoyalMint solution.
Yes, perfect. So the idea, it's like a purchase option for retail investors during an ICO. What is the problem? Retail investors basically always get dumped when you do an ICO. It's very, very, very risky. and the retail investors mostly take all the risk and basically get most of the time dumped. So the solution was like, okay, how could I protect investors by offering more flexibility in their investments? And the idea is very simple, is to say, if I want to buy 100 tokens with a RoyalMint solution, I'm going to buy, for example, 20% upfront, okay, and the 80% remaining are locked. I booked. I kept for me for later at the ICO price. And every month I'm gonna pay a little more. Okay, for example, 10% every month. And gradually, my tokens are going to be attributed to me, basically, as long as I pay correctly. And if the project does not deliver, and if the project basically goes to zero, I can stop basically paying, and the remaining amount of tokens that I have not paid yet are just given back to the project. I don't know if it's clear. We have kind of a scheme showing a table showing how it works basically with the numbers. The idea is basically the benefits, and I will finish with for that because I know the time is running. The benefits are for the project to be able to, it's a marketing tool, to be able to show that you are confident in the fact that you're going to deliver the project. And it's also a way to protect you from recurring dumps. Meaning, if your token is starting to dump, if you have no such solution, retail investors, once your tokens are going to be invested, they're going to basically dump you every time their tokens are invested. Okay, so your, let's say, down pressure will continue, or your tokens will go to zero as most of the time it arrives. If you have this kind of solution, investors, if the token started to go down, investors will stop paying. So you will get as a project the remaining tokens which are not paid yet, and basically it will stop the full dumping pressure you would have suffered.
So it's a virtuous cycle.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you at this point because it's already 2 minutes away. I already received some questions, and obviously you can expand your, the presentation further in the Q&A. So let me start with the first question. It goes like this. I love how your product simplifies DeFi for Web3 projects. What would you say is the most unexpected challenge you faced while building such customizable solutions?
The most good question. The most challenging part with faced is basically regulation, because in France, you know that we have the MiCA market in crypto assets. In Europe, the MiCA regulation, and it's quite complex. And as a result, for example, we had in the pipe, we had an opportunity with a tokenization project, and they were willing to develop kind of a very small investment funds, but very, very simplified. And technologically wise, it's very close to a loan. Okay, once again, it's all mechanism of being able to manage payments, waterfall of payments, guarantee, collateral, etc. So that's all our core business. So it was a really, very interesting project, new on the market, very interesting, but we were stopped by regulation on this one. And this was painful for us, very painful.
Hopefully that answered the question. Next, your latest product allows investors to buy ICO tokens over time. What sparked the idea for this, and how has the response been from users so far?
From users, we will have the answer very, very shortly, because the first project to implement this solution is going to be live in few days. It's called Connect. Thanks. It's based on Avalanche, and we are implementing this solution for their private sale. So the return from users are going to be very interesting. But in my opinion, it's very, very beneficial for all of them. I've been in the crypto space for multiple years now. And even in 2017, ICOs were already some scams. I have always been looking for solutions to protect me as a retail investor. And this one is actually pretty convenient one.
I see, thanks. Next, Peter asks, what's the ask? I think, what are you raising?
We haven't engaged a very concrete financing round because, in my opinion, but you tell me, in my opinion, we don't have not necessarily enough traction. So for now, we have not engage a very aggressive funding round.
We are just starting to see what's in the VC sphere. We are starting to touch the field, but we are waiting for the implementation of our first use case with Connect to start concretely to change the demo roads. So we are just starting the VC.
So and for now, we would raise, our first mind is to raise an equity because it's much simpler. But if some preference are based on tokens, we can imagine a token-based model, but it's way heavier, operationally speaking, for us to do tokens. So first answer would be equity.
Say thank you for taking care of the question. And we still have time for the last question. So waiting, maybe Malika, you have something.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Yeah, what's about your backers?
So far we haven't raised any funds. We only built from scratch, and we use some French banks grants, basically, which exist in France, to be able to build the products, to make them audited, from Cronstamp, which is a US-based auditing firm.
We are incubated by Web3. So this is one of the most famous French incubator in Web3, and we already had one hackathon organized by Ledger, Avalanche, and Crédit Agricole, which is one of the most. We won the Crédit Agricole track, which is one of the most famous bank in France, and we have some records.
Thanks. Yeah, got you. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for presenting. And let's proceed with the next speaker. Maybe we can. Maybe we will start with Leo.
So, hello everyone. My name's Leo. I'm actually originally from France as well, but I kind of live all across the world these days. Right now, I'm calling in from New York. So our company is called Veraswap, and so we've built this about 6 months ago. And the story about of Veraswap actually starts with another project that we started a few months before, which was called Verabridge, and which is kind of related to it. What we built with Verabridge back then was the ability to take a token and make it multi-chain. So we worked with bridging partners like Hyperlane and Layer 0 Orbiter to try to build a solution where any asset issuer can go to a dashboard and take their token from Ethereum and make it multi-chain. So that was Verabridge. The reason I talk about this is that we faced a problem of fractured liquidity. So these tokens, now that we have so many blockchains, right? Kraken has their own Ink blockchain, Uniswap has their Unichain blockchain. When these tokens become multi-chain, you get this issue of fractured liquidity, which means that if I have a liquidity pool on Ethereum, but I'm a user on Polygon, I can't necessarily buy that token because all of the liquidity is centralized. And so, one choice is to split the liquidity, but then you get higher slippage, right? If the liquidity is concentrated, you get more market efficiency. Alternatively, you just have to put in more capital, right? If I have $1 million of liquidity on Ethereum, I have to add another $1 million onto Polygon. So this is kind of a problem. So we have this kind of dual forces of like, I want my token to be on many different chains, but I want to have kind of a lot of liquidity. Especially once you go to 10 chains, 15 chains, this becomes a problem. So one solution that has been proposed is Intense. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Intense is the idea that you can have a market maker that's holding these tokens for you, and that will, I send you USDC on Polygon and you send me the token I want on, Optimism, for example. The problem with that is this only really works for big tokens, things like Ethereum or stable coins that have a majority of their trading volume that is actually off-chain on DEXs. But if we want a more universal solution that can support many tokens, we need a solution that doesn't necessarily need that, and a solution where you can bridge and swap seamlessly and do chain abstracted trading effectively. So what is Veraswap? Veraswap is very simply a cross-chain optimized DEX. Now, we're very particular in the sense that we are decentralized. There is no, centralized vault or custody or anything like that. All you're doing is you're crafting these, smart transactions that use account abstraction that will combine swapping and bridging operations. And so I can be on Base, for example, in this screenshot. This is a bit outdated UI. I'll show you the live demo after. And I can buy a token on Superchain, which is a new blockchain. So this is kind of our basic solution. So our technical stack is like what I mentioned. We compose different Web3 systems. So we use Uniswap as our primary source of liquidity, Hyperlane for the bridging, and then we're also building on top of Superchain Interop, which is this fast bridging technology that is going to come to the Superchain ecosystem, including Base, Inc, Unichain, and that will provide bridging in 500 milliseconds. So that's going to be like a Q4. So this is just a little technical architecture, right? So you can have some operations required, for example, to swap a token and then bridge it to the chain, or you can bridge the token, which is like the USDC, for example, and then execute the swap. So all of this are UI computes for you, right? So the big benefits is really for chains and projects, right? Chains, they want this because they don't have Uniswap yet. They don't have liquidity. They try to build these alternative DEXs, but users, they want to bring wrap BTC. They want to bring Ethereum. They want to bring the big name project. So our solution is a great onboarding solution. And then for projects as well, if I'm a new token and I want to launch on this new chain because I got a grant, well, users still want to buy that token. And so I don't want to have to split my liquidity, like I mentioned earlier. Some additional features. So like I mentioned, we still have Verabridge, right? What we see is Verabridge is a kind of scaling engine for us where token projects can go there, deploy their token to be multi-chain, right? They take their existing Ethereum token and then they deploy on 5 chains. But now that they have Veraswap, that token becomes accessible. And since we're working towards an embeddable component, they can put that, swap component inside of their own app. So they don't, have to necessarily use our website. So this is our current roadmap. So right now we're in Q2. So we have a live mainnet beta, risky, please, don't trade large amounts on it because we're going to audit it. And then, like I said, Q4, we're going to have expanded support for Superchain Interop and, a bunch of other cool features. This is our team. We're a small team, but we've worked together for a long time. We won a few bounties at ETH Denver, recently joined the Superchain Interop incubator, and also got additional support from Unichain as part of the Infinite Hackathon. For context, I've also started a Chainlink node operating company called VulcanLink that's been operating for 5 years. We're an Oracle operator. And so that has helped us bootstrap the company initially. We've gotten some grant funding, and now we're looking to fundraise approximately $1 to $2 million, probably in equity. We will have a token model eventually. Right now we're applying to several incubators, including like Alliance DAO, and we're exploring our options there. This is our contact info. I also sent the link to the deck, and that's it. There's also a live demo that I can show, but I'm over time, so I will pause here.
Yeah, thank you, Leo. Thank you for the presentation. And yeah, we are open to the questions. Already got some with all the different bridging protocols you're working with. How do you decide which ones to integrate into the platform?
Which tokens? So right now, yes, good question. So right now, we support Hyperlane and Orbiter. It's interesting because depending on the type of asset, the bridging has a different nature. So certain bridges, like bridges for ETH and USDC specifically, they're more based around like asset pools where they will use CCTP, which is the Circle protocol, to bridge asset. And then to speed up the bridging, there'll be like people will lock assets on each side. And things like Hyperlane are more for kind of like smaller tokens where they use like mint and burn. And so it's really like we scour through all these tokens, figure out what's the best way to bridge them, and based on that, the UI kind of optimizes that.
Okay, thanks. Hope it answers the question. Another one from Morgan. How do you and investors make money?
Great question. So the name of the game really for DEXs is we got to generate volume. Right. And so right now we're really focused on getting a very seamless UX, becoming the best UI essentially where you can access tokens cross-chain seamlessly. And once we get that, we can charge a few bips off of volume, right? This is what Uniswap Labs does. So that's, I think, our primary focus, really generating volume. And we want to be embedded as a component on a bunch of different apps, right? That makes it even drives even more volume. So, our bet really is on cross-chain volume, the growth of cross-chain volume. and generating fees out of that.
Thanks, got you. Another question goes like this: you've already won the Unichain Infinite Hackathon. Congrats. How has this recognition helped Veraswap grow or shape its roadmap?
Yeah, great question. So I think there's multiple value adds from that. So one is we did I think two AMAs with them. One with Uniswap Labs and one with the Uniswap Foundation. So that has been good to generate some exposure. We just started launching our Twitter account. And then more in depth is that, Uniswap is quite an advanced protocol. So we work closely with the team to understand how we figure out the routes, right? So for example, like when you do USDC to Hyper token, for example, here, we scan through Base and through Optimism, and we figure out like, okay, where's the best price, right? Which liquidity pool? Is there even a liquidity pool on Optimism? No, there isn't. Okay, Base. And then we execute the swap. So that they've provided a lot of technical help as well. I've worked closely with their team, and then we augment this with bridging effectively. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah,
we've been very helpful.
So. Thanks. Another one, integrated into any LLM based swap bridge engines. For example, Brian knows Org or Wayfinder. How does this compare to Jumper, Li-Fi, or Swing, or Enso?
Great question. So for LLMs right now, we're exploring, playing around with that, but we're not really certain that's like a huge market right now, at least. I think the question regarding Jumper and Li-Fi is very interesting. So those protocols, if you go on, for example, so Jumper is Li-Fi, by the way. For those of you who don't know, it's actually like literally just their UI components. So they're technically the same. Li-Fi is the protocol. So Li-Fi uses intents, right? So this is what I mentioned at the beginning, which is if you go on my deck, I mentioned they use intents. And so the problem with intents is that like if there's no liquidity provider, it's not going to work. So if you use Li-Fi for like things like USDC, Bitcoin, stuff like that, that will work fine. But what we're trying to do is like the only requirement for us to support you is that you have a pool on Uniswap. That's it. And you're like, if you're bridgeable to certain chains, we support those bridges. Versus Li-Fi is really like, there's like a centralized contract. And so that's how the things get routed. Like you never hit like a centralized contract with us. Like you don't approve, you're just approving Uniswap when you approve tokens. So that's kind of different architecture where we're trying to provide a decentralized service where like there's no market maker, no intent solver. Because like you're using a cross, for example, when you use Li-Fi, effectively it aggregates intent solvers. So that's kind of our technical difference. But they're definitely the closest competitor, I would say.
Yeah, actually, the next question is about your, who do you consider to be your major competitor?
Yeah, I would say like aggregator protocols, right? I think our view is that like our only requirement for launch is like having a Hyperlane or some bridging protocol. Like we're going to add more. Right now, we're heavily focused on Hyperlane and Orbiter. And then, I mean, you don't even need Uniswap, right? Because like you can be like super, like if I do a token that, like Superseed, it's like a no P stack chain that recently launched. They don't have Uniswap, right? But I can still access liquidity there because like Base has Uniswap, and so I can buy and bridge there directly. So we can add like many chains very, very quickly, and I think that's a kind of competitive advantage. Whereas Li-Fi needs to like deploy a bunch of contracts, integrate, etc. So that's where we're competing right now. We're trying to expand support as much as possible. You want to buy any token on any chain, you can do that.
Thanks. And another one. EIP 770 DOS support.
Coming soon, in progress. That is, so right now we use smart accounts for batching logic, etc. And we are working towards that. The challenge is that like certain chains don't support it and other chains do support it. So like writing that logic is a bit challenging, because like it did go live recently on mainnet, but like all the other chains we support, not all of them do. So you don't want to break the app while you're trying to integrate new features.
Totally. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Leo, for the presentation, and thank you guys for all your questions. And yeah, let's proceed with the third project. Sue, are you here now with us again?
Oh, yes, I'm ready. All right, so I'm Sue, the marketing manager from Fizen. So Fizen.io is a very simple concept. We want to bring crypto to life. It's like coming from very basic, like nature of blockchain and Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is at currency of the internet. That's how Satoshi built it. So we really want to take use of, like the blockchain technology and crypto for its interoperability and its like the value transfer things to life. And with all this product suite here we have like you can see flight booking, hotels, the Visa card and the QR Pay. I will just have the details into it later. And after 4 years of the development, we have already have all of this all go live, ready to use, and also being using by over 500k active user globally. And we are backed by Ether, USDT. We are one of the first projects in Southeast Asia to get the investment and backing with a lot of things to grow our product and also grow our partner ecosystem. So let me focus more on our product, on how we bring crypto to life. Our products go for both B2C, the end user, and B2B, like Web2 businesses and Web3 businesses. Let me go first with all the solution or the PayFi and crypto payment solutions for B2C, the end users. So we have the one crypto super app where you can scan to pay with our QR Pay, focusing on Southeast Asia countries. Currently, it's available in Vietnam, Philippines, and we are integrating more in Thailand, Indonesia, Japan. So what is a QR Pay? Is like you can just have a crypto, you have a USDT. Currently, it's work for stable coins. You have USDT, and you can just instantly convert from USDT to the fiat, and we pay fiat to the merchant. So it just takes 3 seconds for you to settle the bills of millions of shops or services, online services. If they generate a QR code for your payment, then you can pay online, book a hotel or whatever it is in Southeast Asia with Fizen QR Pay. So it's been working really well. We've been having over 500 feedbacks right now from over 5,000 daily users for that QR Pay, coming mostly from Chinese speaking countries, Russian people, and Korean, Japanese as well. So the digital nomads really love this QR Pay one. They don't need credit cards or go to the cash exchange during their stays or during their, to make any payment to the local merchants. And of course, we also empower some kind of real life and travel utilities, like all the flight bookings with 170 airlines worldwide with crypto. So basically, all in the app, you can just book the hotels and airlines with USDT. Or on Monetization, we supported from now 30 different blockchains right now. So flight booking, hotel booking, 2.5 million hotel worldwide, and eSIM as well. It's like full suite of travel utilities on one app, Fizen Super App. Phone and data top up, like this one used the most by some African markets. We also grow this one for Nigerian countries, Ghana. And we also have the virtual Visa crypto card where you can just tap and pay. So that is another solution for end users. The gift card as well, with over 245,000 products in 178 countries worldwide for the gift cards. And for the for businesses, for the B2B, we have the PayFi solutions for both Web3 businesses and Web2 businesses as well. For the Web3 businesses, we have the API where you can integrate all the real life utilities like hotels, fly, eSIM, the QR scan, gift card, and many more into your app. Or we can build mini app for other layer one as well. For example, we build USDT gift shop with Ton blockchain. And Web2 businesses as well, we have the Fizen Pay, where they can just integrate our API and accept crypto as one of the payment methods. So we've been working with a couple of e-commerce sites to accept crypto payments. And this is the Fizen Pay with zero setup fee and zero transaction fee for the first 6 months. That is our offer for businesses. And just few tractions for now with Fizen. We've been like in the market for over 4 years and with a lot to do, keep building every day, starting from zero, and we get like 0.1 for now. I think it's hard to get one, but we are going for it. So thank you so much for all the time, and would love to open to any questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Sue, for the presentation. Very interesting. And congrats. You already have traction and users and everything. We've got our first question. You've got some solid traction with 500K users. What's been the biggest surprise in user behavior since launching Fizen?
That's a very interesting question. So I'm going to answer it from my marketing point of view. Like the biggest surprise in our user behavior is that our users are mostly introvert people. They're not talking a lot on Twitter, or they're not talking a lot on Telegram or in the community, but they talk a lot in the app. So we have to build, like one kind of, chatbot to really like solve with all the problems, solve with all the requests from user in the app. And the most questions come from like if we are launching the token or not. So like they are our users, but it seems like there are also a lot of crypto traders as well. They keep asking for the tokens while using the app. That is a very funny user experience that we don't want to guide them to buy the token or anything, but they keep asking that questions why, enjoy the payments with Fizen. And the second...
Let me read that out loud. Your wallet is integrating AI to become smarter. Can you share how that will change the user experience or even make crypto payments easier for the average person?
Yes, we haven't published our AI version yet. Like we have the AI agents in the app where you can also authorize them to give you the best suggestion or recommendation based on the recommendation system from the past behavior. But we haven't, it's gonna be like, I don't think it's like the killing feature or not, but it's gonna make your, Web3 payment and crypto payment behavior much better. For example, we've been seeing a lot of our users asking, okay, I have a USDT on Tron, how I can bring it to USDT on BNB chain. So we have to it takes a lot of time to guide them how to do the cross-chain bridge, for example. So with the AI agent things, it's gonna make all these kind of customer support and user experience the seamless one, simpler, quicker, and more cost and time effective. So that is the most, I think, because most of our users are like Web 2.5 as well, not the really the crypto OG one.
Thanks. And next question also is about Web 2 companies. Can you do recurring payments for Web 2 companies like monthly prescriptions, for example, like Netflix, etc.?
For this one, this is a really cool answers for for the kind of subscriptions. Currently, we don't do this kind of subscription with the QR Pay, but with the virtual cards in the future, you can do that kind of monthly subscription with the Visa card. But for now, with the QR Pay, you have to do it, scan the QR on each payment that you make every month.
Okay, thanks. What was your go-to-market strategy? And how did you earn these users that you have?
It's a very, very, it's a very long story. The long story short, we've been using a lot of different strategies to acquire users from both Web3 practices and also both Web2 practices. And for us, the Web2 practices, the Web2 strategy to acquire users work better for Fizen instead of the Web3 strategy. For example, we can't do the airdrop or kind of make some promises to the users, using our product, and then in the future they got a big airdrop, like millions dollar airdrop, for example. We can't do that practice just because we don't have money for that, airdrop activities. So we focus more on the real problems about users. Like a lot of Russian people, they can't create bank accounts when they travel, or they can't make the Visa or MasterCard. So crypto is the best way for them to really, enjoy the payments and, enjoy different things. Like crypto is a very effective way for them to use. So we focused on more on, acquiring users from Web 2, Web 2.5, from our partners. Like we provide the solution to our partner, and our partner will also bring a lot of users and a lot of brand awareness to us. So that is the current go-to-market strategy that we have, focusing on the local as well. We know who we want to target to and how big the market that we want to tap in. If it's worth our investment to tap in to go to that market or not. And then we just focus on that market before making it, bigger. So the key strategy here is like the atomic network. If you read the book, like The Code Start the World or something, then the atomic network we build with small group and then scale it in to create the network effect later on. But we need to build a very strong core user base.
Thanks. Very interesting.
So thank you so much for your pitch. It was really interesting. One final question. So what are your future plans and scaling strategies? So are you planning to expand and expand to further regions, for like go to Europe maybe or something like that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, like we focus on do the best in our best markets first. Like we know, okay, we have a very good resources in these markets. For example, Russian speaking people, Chinese speaking people, Korean speaking people. So we focus on the market that we do the best first. And also like where we can have all the legal and compliance support, because payment things, a lot of legal, things required. For Europe, we haven't seriously explore it first, just because we haven't, really invested our time and also our money to understand, all the legal framework and how we can really tap into the market. But we really look forward to work with any partners or, any supporter, any backers that can really help us to, tap into the market with our QR pay and also tap to pay as well.
So thank you so much for answering the question. I think we have concluded the Q&A. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Sue. Wishing you best of luck with the project.